Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I just wanted to show you how this wide swather trailer turned out. Pretty much got it ready to try it out. So I added another beam on either side, which just doubled it up, beefs it up way more. And these boards that I put in there, they're not quite big enough. You can see there, but they're good enough for now. What I intend on doing after I get the sawmill going is cutting a board that'll fill in the whole thing, and it'll be thicker than these are, so that it'll be riding, the tires will be riding completely on the boards. But anyway, I've got these long ramps here. I got them out of a wrecking yard, bought them from a wrecking yard over in Evanston, Wyoming. And then my setup here on the back, I'm going to pull the swather on frontwards, and so there's nothing on that back for this oversized sign. So I've got those nuts on there, so these boards will just, or those rods will just screw out of there, so I can screw them out and pull the swather on and then screw them back in, and that will get my oversized sign on the back. I have flashing lights. I have to use flashing lights on it, and the flashing lights will just go right on the swather. So, and then this has got these poking out here, so right here and on that side I'll have to have a red flag going there. And so the way that looks, I will go from there. If for some reason it doesn't work to pull that on the back, my other option is to cut this off and then drop the tongue down onto the ground and back the swather up from the front side. But I'd rather do it this way if it's going to work this way, so that I won't have to unhook the trailer every time I use it. So anyway, this is ready to try out. All I need now is to get my starter motor. I've got this Haybine all greased up and oil changed and serviced, everything, but all I need is the starter for it, and it's ready to load up and try it out. Something else I've been doing here, I pulled the old International 47 hay baler out, and I've got it all greased up and ready to go. And I had a little bit of some weeds out there that I'd cut, so I went and stuffed the weeds in there. I always pull the hay out of it completely in the winter, so it's not in there in the winter. So I'm getting the wire stretched. This is a wire baler, and it works pretty dang good. It's a good old baler. I would probably rather have a string baler because of the fact that the string is a lot cheaper than the wire, but I can really stuff the hay into these bales and makes good bales, and this machine was cheap, so I've got that ready to go. The old John Deere, kind of a funny story here. Anybody that's been watching this channel for any length of time, my power takeoff ended up to where it wouldn't turn off. And so I've got a series of videos where I pulled things apart. This spool, hydraulic spool that controls all of that power takeoff. It controls the main clutches on that power takeoff. I pulled all this stuff off, and somebody had been into it in the past and used a bunch of silicone, and there was silicone everywhere in that system. So I cleaned it all out, bought a new gasket and put on it, put it back together, and it did not fix the problem. And then, probably a month ago, I was just using it with that power takeoff spinning, and I was always paying real close attention to the fact that stay away from that spinning power takeoff because they're so dangerous. So what I did about a month ago when I was planting those oats, I had this tractor out planting oats, and I jumped off the tractor and filled the boxes on that grain drill with more oats, and I come back to get on the tractor, always paying attention to that power takeoff, and it wasn't spinning. And I really caught my attention because I'd been watching that, and anyway, it went to work. So it's working now. So I'm assuming, just thinking that maybe some of that silicone that somebody else had put on had worked its way into the system, and it was not letting things work right. And then it finally passed through the system, is the only thing that I can think. But it works fine now. I've been working it on and off, and everything's working really good on it. So I'm really glad at this point I didn't split that tractor and try to get into that clutch that runs that power takeoff. So that's where we're at. I am really close to being ready for haying season, and I'm thinking we're probably at least a week away. The alfalfa looks really good, and I've gone and looked at some of the fields that I'm going to be doing, and the alfalfa's looking really good, but there's no hint yet of going to blossom. So I'd like to try to catch that alfalfa as the blossoms, just when it gets into bloom, just barely gets into bloom, just when it just gets started, is what my intent is for starting the haying season. So thinking maybe a week away I'll be heavy into that. So anyway, ready to go, and thanks for watching.